Artist development is a phrase we throw around in the music business quite a lot. We need more of it. Nobody does it anymore. Companies brand themselves as being artist development focused companies. I planned this panel as a way to kind of pick some people's brains about what they actually do day to day in the interest of developing artists' careers from the bottom up.
What are your goals, your mission? Because I think this is where people get lost in it in the early parts of their career. If their goal is, I want to, sell 1 million records and be on the charts and everything, that's fine. If that's what your goal is, then, we'll have some people write some songs for you, and you better learn to dance. We've got some choreographers we'll bring on. But if you're a rock band, it's probably not what you want to do, and, if your goal is, I want to make music and I want to have a career, then you go, okay, if that's what your goal is, then we'll set up some plans, how we're going to achieve those goals. And at the very bottom are the tactics, those kind of day-to-day things you do, like tweeting and, status updates on Facebook. All of that kind of stuff is like the little day-to-day stuff, which isn't artist development. It just feeds into the larger picture. And I think sometimes people get hung up in the little day-to-day stuff, and you don't realize, where the career arc should be.
Adding on to what you said, a lot of artists do that, and then they get signed or they get some sort of deal, and they like sit back down and they're like, all right, bring it. And it's like they forget all these years they've worked so hard, and it's like you might get a record deal, you might get a publishing deal. In my eyes, that means, okay, now you work harder. Even if you do build all this stuff and your end goal is a record label, that shouldn't be your end goal. That you have to continue to work really hard always. And that the most successful artists are people. I don't think Lady Gaga sleeps. She's involved in every outfit, in every little piece of her career. She's involved. She could have easily hired someone to say, all right, go do this.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I mean, the bands that I work with that are successful or becoming successful are generally the ones that are calling me 5 times a day to say, like I don't want to play in that crappy club in Louisville. Why? That's a waste of time. Let's go to Cincinnati. Let's do this. Last time this show was great, and they know better than I do because they were there.
There was a band that's on one of our labels that wanted to put out an album this year until I spoke with their manager. They're signed, and I said, well, how big's your email list and your fan base? He said, yeah, we have nearly 400 names. I said, 400 names? You can't put out an album. I mean, the maximum you're going to sell is 400. So we made a deal that go get it up to 5,000, and we'll put the album out. And so now they're touring around, picking up, 10, 20 fans a night, just working. Maybe, instead of talking about artist development, it's really about fan development and understanding the fan, because actually fans of bands will spend a lot of money.
With the enormous success of Facebook, Twitter, and all these blogs nowadays, do you feel that like artists-own.com is almost kind of not even really relevant anymore, because most people are going to say go to Facebook, go to Twitter, my song is on the blog. I don't really hear anybody say go to my website anymore. Go to Cohen.com.
The most important thing is your own website.
That's good to hear though,
because
I'm a web developer, so that means I don't need to get a new job.
I don't know what we'll be using 3 years from now, but you got to drive them back. It doesn't mean don't use all those other platforms, but ultimately you got to own your own audience.
Yeah, your own, if you're an artist, your own .com has to be your home and your official place where fans can come. And there will always be the other social networks or whatever's hot this year or next year, and it's always going to keep moving. Something that we're very, very big on is driving all of the traffic to an artist's official website. It's also about not having a cookie cutter plan and really putting thought and time into it and making sure that what you're offering, fan X is something that's going to be really meaningful, and every little thing that you can do really does make a big difference, whether it's video updates, what you're doing on your website, what kind of photos you're posting on Twitter. All that minutia can really make a big deal and makes a difference in keeping a fan around.